So Dr. Hathen, um, if I am to ask you, I know we'll continue this discussion. So far, we have talked about like the events and like in very we give some perspective on the history, the politics, how the investigation unfolded. How are you thinking about creating this reasonable? What is your train of thought at a high level?
Until
Then we are
now,
gonna
until
go
now,
through.
I think that for any reasonable mind, we start to shake his belief that the death of Zahra alayhi salam was from natural causes. We started to
Yes,
do that.
completely agree.
That is why
Yes.
now my second evidence I am going to present. You know, if you have some suspicious feeling or some doubts about the death of this young lady, usually the detective in the preliminary investigation, preliminary, usually what they start to look for any, uh, uh, for example, if this person, there is a suspicion that it was a suicide, they start to look for some suicide notes left by the victim, right? And if it
Right.
is homicide or suspicion of homicide, they start to look for any writing, go to the laptop of that person to see if there is some threatening threats come to him, or to look for his writing to see if in his writing he is saying something which could have some clue to what happened. How he was fearing of somebody, he has some trouble with somebody, he felt that he was persecuted by somebody, he is watched by somebody. For example, if she is a wife, they go to her computer to see, they look at her emails, her communication. Is was any signs in this documents or this uh, emails that she was suffering from her husband? There was some cheating behind her back. There was some abuse in the house, and she write it down. Maybe she didn't tell somebody, but maybe she write it down, right? That's part of the
Yes.
preliminary investigation. They called it
Right.
what the victim has left behind. Is there any clue left behind by the victim, like a mark for struggle before he or she died,
Hmm.
a comments he said to to a friend or a neighbor or a family member? Some cases, oh, the victim said 1 month before he get killed, he said to his neighbor, I know that if I get killed, I will be killed by this neighbor, or I will be killed by my husband, or by I will get killed by my this person. They and the detectives gather this information from the neighbors, from the computers, from the personal notebooks of the victims, right? They collect because
Hmm.
they want to know what was in the mind of the victim before he died. That is an issue, very
Yes.
crucial evidence for any detectives. That
Hmm.
is most clear. If the
Right.
and they the best for them, when they find something written by the victim himself. If they found an evidence which has been written by the victim himself or herself, that's become very precious evidence to raise the doubts. So when it be presented to the district attorney office, they think, yes, there is a foul play here. We have to dig deeper in this case, and they issue full investigation. So that's
Mhm.
why then on our next recording, inshallah, I have to present this, and I will focus on it. This document, which written by the victim herself, Zahra herself, alayhi
Oh,
salam, which is the speech given
excellent.
by Syeda Fatima Zehra few days before her shahada, before her death, and will try as a detectives, neutral detectives, to look at this speech and to try to conclude from it, is there a suspicion of foul play in her death, or no, 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 she was a very happy woman, no enemy for her, everybody love her, there is no any unjust committed to her, she was so happy, she was just sad for the death of the prophet, that's why she died from natural causes.
Is this evidence? Is it possible that because there are two groups, right? So one group who are saying natural causes. Is this agreed upon with them
Absolutely.
as well, or this is
This document, the speech of Sayyidah Fatima Zahra, it has been documented by Lut ibn Yahya al-Azdi, which is not from the
mm,
Shia, and by Ibn Abi
mm,
Tayfur, which is not from the Shia, by Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabari, who was not from the Shia, and by Ibn Abi al-Hadid al-Mu'tazali, who was definitely not from the Shia.
okay? We'll be excited. I'm really looking forward to
Yes,
hearing that
it just
evidence.
need as a detective to handle this to the detective, and the detective will look at these documents to know the state of the mind of the victim, because this document written or
Yes.
said by her just a few, it is not even written, it is said by her few days before her
Mm,
death, which somebody want to you to believe it is natural, but our job to raise doubts regarding that belief, that her death, there is some doubts that it was not natural causes behind that death. That is our job, to say, to raise these doubts and to hand it you to you, the listener, the audience, and you the district, you become the district attorney, you yourself, either you, these doubts, it raise your alarm in your mind, then you order a full investigation and see where that investigation will lead you, or to say, oh, no, 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 that's all fake and the case closed, bury Sayyidah Fatima Zahra, it was natural causes. Whatever decision you are going to take, that decision will haunt you in your hereafter, and that's my job.
mm. And I think one thing very interesting that you just mentioned. Obviously, this will be very insightful to hear that. But just thinking, and I'm pretty sure this is a case where you have there are a lot of leads, a lot of evidence that is just coming from all of the different areas. It's not like just one event or something like that. There are a lot of things. That is the interesting part of this. Like there are new things that come up, like this speech. I did not
Yes,
hear about this speech, uh, and there are like so many other things. It's very, and it's hard for me personally to understand how can a person who has a working
yes,
brain which
yes.
uses logic, they can ignore everything and say there's nothing there. And they've been saying that for 1400 years. I don't get
That
it.
is
Like how can
normal, ya
they
Habibi
do that?
Farhan. They deny the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself.
Yes,
they,
true,
they deny
true,
the
true.
prophethood of the prophets. They deny the prophethood of
Yes, true,
Prophet
true,
Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So it is very
true.
normal. That's the nature of the life. That's why we have a hereafter. The judge will be Allah
Yes,
subhanahu wa ta'ala. But as you said very good
yes,
point, very good, that you have a lot of evidence. If you want to go and dig for the truth, definitely you will find a lot of evidence in front of you. This evidence will be a witness against you if you decide to ignore it. And it will be a witness for you
true.
if you
That's true. Yeah.
decide to believe in it and to yield to the truth when you are sure that no, there is a big problem here after the death of the Hara, and we discover all that, because the history is full of things, like we said last time. So just ask yourself, why the Shaykhain, Abu Bakr and Umar, why they have to go and apologize to Zahra alayhi salam, they ask her for forgiveness, and that's written in our Muslim book. Why you have to ignore this?
Yes.
And that she refused. Why you have to ignore that? Why
Yes.
you have to ignore that the will of Zahra is to be buried at night, and nobody know where is
And
her grave, and nobody
we have to
witness
talk about that
her
in detail.
her funeral.
Yes. But we have to talk about that topic in detail. We did not cover that previously.
Because at the end, that is the job of the DA. That is the job of the audience. My job is to raise some doubts
Yes.
in the beginning, but your job, and
Yes.
go. I will not lead you by hand like a baby and enter you the
Yes.
paradise. Paradise, you have to work it for yourself. And who care if you
Mhm.
win in the paradise or you go to the hellfire? Who cares? You only the one who care. But I didn't care if all of you
Yes.
guys went to the hellfire or all of you went to the paradise. That's not my job. My job is myself. I want to save myself.
Yes.
But just I want to shake your belief. You believe an idol. My job is to come and tell you what this idol you are shooting. This, it listen to you, it responded to your dua, it give you risk, it help itself. So why you are watching? That is my job, to shake your belief. Otherwise, you have to start now your
Right.
trip to, okay, to find, okay, where is my God? Like Ibrahim alayhi salam. He teach us the curriculum. He teach us how it should be.
Mm.
Doubts, shake your old
Mhm.
belief, and then you start the long trip of searching of the truth. That's Ibrahim alayhi salam summarized it. لَإِن لَمْ يَهْدِيَنِي رَبِّي, if he didn't guide me, لَأُكَانَنَّ مِنَ الضَّالِينَ, I will be one of those who has been misguided, because all the guidance is from him.
Yes.
You will come, Farhan. So
Thank you,
next
Dr.
time,
Afan.
inshallah, we'll focus more and more on this last documents said and written by Syeda Fatima Zehra
Mhm.
alayhi salam to present another proof to shake the old belief in some hearts that the Zahra has been died from natural causes. We just want to shake this belief and force them to investigate more about the death of the Zahra alayhi salam was from natural causes, or no, there was a criminal act behind it, and then it becomes their job to go and look what was this criminal act, who commits the criminal act, and they are guilty or not, and the guilty beyond the reasonable doubt or not. That is their job. That is how they are going to the paradise or the hellfire based on this trip.
Right.
Inshallah.